Hello all, this is Jay Mitchell from 40WX, looking at your weekend and upcoming work week ahead. Hope you've been doing well. Forgive me for the voice if it sounds a little bit off. I'm a little bit stuffy, but I'm going to get this out. We're going to get through this, so stay with me. We had a really solid week, all things considered. Rain-free for one compared to the weekend with whatever was left of Ophelia. However, we did deal with some cloud cover, which kind of limited our temperatures a little bit, but other than that, all things considered, compared to what we dealt with earlier in the month, a vast 180. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So hang with me here as we talk about numbers for Thursday. In the meantime, in between time, 70, 54, the high and low respectively at BWI. Ran around the averages. We put a dent into our rainfall deficit at the airport, now under 3 inches. However, a lot of places across the state didn't get in on as much rainfall as some probably would have hoped given the circumstances. But anyways, at the airport, at least, we're making progress, but we do need to make more progress, to say the least, in that regard. Pardon me, there you can see the drought monitor here. We've made progress in West Central Maryland and in southern tier counties in our state. We have made a lot of improvements in that regard. However, more needs to be done, to say the least, because a lot of areas have been still unchanged. The first part of September was hot. We set 4 straight records from Sunday the 3rd through Wednesday the 6th in terms of our highs. In fact, I believe it was like 13 of the first 16 that we were above average. And the 6 days during that hot span, the first full week of the month, were above 90 degrees. And the last 12 days, 9 of them have been below average. So it's really been a tale of 2 halves of a month. Typically, September does mark that period between the transitioning between warmer periods of summer and then the cooler periods of fall. So kind of on cue for this time of the year. A little bit of a mixed bag in terms of our temperatures and morning lows. 40s out west on Thursday, 50s in the metro corridor, 60s down in the Delmarva, and then we bounced back really nicely, all things considered. 60s down in the higher elevations, around 70 in the metro corridor, and then 60s to around 70 east of the Chesapeake. So, yeah, I like to say that this was a pretty solid day in terms of the weather, rain-free. And the weekend's going to be mostly rain-free, knock on wood, for a lot of us, especially if you're like west of I-270, okay? However, Central Maryland, Eastern Shore, and especially the Delmarva, we may have to keep a slight chance for rain in due to the proximity of Ophelia as it's trying to pull away, may bring some rain bands back in. Once we get past that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at minimum looks solid. Thursday should look okay, knock on wood, but we may have to watch for a system, and the timing could be between, let's say, next Thursday and next Saturday, next Sunday, next weekend. So we'll have to watch for that. We'll get to that when the time comes, but I want you to have that in the back of your mind. Let's talk about Saturday morning because it could be a little bit tricky here. Here's the Euro, and it's not picking up on a whole lot, but it's around. And it may pull back and get some of the rain on the eastern shore and especially the Delmarva. I'm keeping your higher chances there. West of the Chesapeake, not as high, so to speak, for this rain chance Saturday morning. But once we get past that, I'm showing you this because there's a whole bunch of nothing after that. GFS is pulling that rain back a little bit more to maybe clip the eastern shore and especially the Delmarva region, keeping it more closer towards the inland areas and the shoreline, but I'm keeping it below 50% still because the uncertainty on that's going to be still fairly high. I'm showing you this again because, again, there is a bunch of nothing, and it will be that way through at least Wednesday. Maryland forecast. Hope you like the new sound effect there that I put in for the Maryland forecast. The Hoosiers take on the Terrapins in College Park at 3:30 Saturday. Perfect fall weather. Hope you enjoyed it. Please bring a sweatshirt or a hoodie because if the game goes long and sunsets, remember, are now before 7 o'clock. Let's say we go overtime on this game, knock on wood. Hopefully we get a Maryland victory. But it could be a little bit cool, especially as the sun starts to go down. So fourth quarter, even early as fourth quarter, I would say. might be useful to have the hoodie, the sweatshirt, the jacket there. Hopefully we can pull out a victory against the Hoosiers as we continue Big Ten play. The Mitchell meter, scale of 1 to 10 of how good or bad weather conditions can be. For the weekend, I'm giving it a 7. All things considered, once we get past the little patch of rain that we may get, or even not get in some areas, to be honest with you, looking like a really nice weekend. And then I really was thinking about giving this an 8 as well for the weekend, but I kept it at a 7. Next 7 days, I'm doing the same for that. We may have to worry about rain during the middle to late portions of the work week. It just depends on the timing. Right now, it's looking like the more latter portions of the work week to really determine for our rainfall. However, looking at the weekend, really nice. There was the work week I was talking about. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looked pretty good. Thursday should look okay. But we may get rain as early as Thursday. I don't want to say for sure. You know, the timing with weather computer models and the accuracy, especially this far out, is a little bit questionable. So I kept it out for the time being. Just keep that in the back of your mind there. Friday, it looks like right now, according to the weather computer models, would be the day for the rainfall. But again, take that with a grain of salt. But looking at this, just a solid 7-day. Not bad, not great, but could be better. Could be worse. We'll take it, considering what we've been through during the month of September and actually the last 3 months, to really be honest with you, because goodness, since June, it's been a little wacky. DC suburbs, Southern Maryland, same deal for you. Just a little bit warmer. Out in urban Western Maryland, and keeping your chances next to nothing, to be honest with you. I really should put you at 0, but out of due diligence, I'm keeping you at 20. And then we'll worry about the rain for the latter portion of the work week when we get there. But pretty nice conditions for you. Out in far Western Maryland, I'm not even concerned about the rainfall for you, to be quite honest, because the proximity of the storm, it may not even impact you. And then we do have to maybe worry about rain next week, but pretty solid in terms of our conditions there on the higher mountain ranges. Eastern Shore, I'm keeping your chances higher, especially for Saturday when we talk about the rain. It could reach you, but again, just like with everybody else, take it with a grain of salt, but use a little bit more of a awareness about that. And then once we get past that, pretty solid stretch for us before we have to worry about more rain. And same for Ocean City, Salisbury, the Delmarva, Princess Anne, Pocomoke City, Snow Hill, you name it. Except the rain chances are going to be a little bit higher. I'm keeping it at 40% for Saturday. It may be more confined to those coastal areas. So OC, Assateague Island, Ocean Pines, keep that in mind, okay? But anyways, just a really solid week and a really solid 7-day that we do have. So I will take it, and I hope you will take it as well. Wednesday weather discussions with technology and life kind of being a little chaotic. I've moved it back to 3:30 every Wednesday, so hopefully you will join me at the new time, 90 minutes later every Wednesday on my personal weather channel, Mezzo Mitchell WX on YouTube. Enjoy the weekend. Congratulations to the Orioles, by the way. Their first AL East title in 9 years. Think about that. First playoff appearance in 7 years. Come on, boys. Let's get into the playoffs. Let's go strong, and hopefully we can finish this thing with a championship. Knock on wood. Until next week, I'm Jay Mitchell from 4NOWX. Be safe, be well, be kind to everybody. Go O's, go Ravens, go Terps, and go Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, I am a Georgia Bulldogs fan. I'm not a bandwagon. I have been a fan since 2012, so do not at me on that. Anyways, enjoy your weekend.